to show the Filipino-American relationship timeline.
May 1, 1898. Commodore George Dewey crashes Spain's wooden-hulled fleet at the Battle of Manila Bay during the Spanish-American War. In December, the Treaty of Paris ends the war, part of the terms seeing the United States paying Spain $20 million to take over colonial rule of the Philippines.
My dear people, crushing the Spanish fleets was a victorious plan from us. And now, from this day forward, I declare the colonization of the Philippines. These terms seem fair. You got yourself a deal.
Thank you.
February 4, 1899. An American patrol on the outskirts of Manila kills 3 Filipino nationalists demanding independence, triggering 3 years of fighting which the United States says claimed the lives of more than 20,000 Filipino rebels and 4,200 American troops.
Huh?
Filipino! Palayain mo kami!
Are you fused? Die, rebel scum!
Wag!
They're dead.
November 9, 1901. The United States sets up a naval reservation in the Philippines that would become Subic Bay Naval Base, a key Navy repair yard during the Vietnam War. Fort Stauffenberg, the precursor to Clark Air Base, is established nearby in 1902. January 17, 1933. The U.S. Congress passes a law to give the Philippines independence after a 10-year period of self-government under American supervision.
I declare the independence of the Philippines. The Philippines is now a free country.
December 8, 1941. Japanese bomber planes attack Clark Air Base, 8 hours after destroying Pearl Harbor in Hawaii. As the United States is drawn into World War II, Japanese amphibious forces reached the Philippines within days to begin more than 3 years of brutal occupation. April 9, 1942. American and Filipino forces under joint U.S. command surrender near Manila. About 12,000 American and 63,000 Filipino prisoners of war are forced at gunpoint into a 6-day death march to a prison camp in the northern Philippines. Malnutrition, disease, and Japanese bayonets killed between 7,000 and 10,000 prisoners, according to the U.S. military. July 5, 1945. The United States liberates the Philippines after a 10-month military campaign. July 4, 1946. The United States grants the Philippines independence.
With this ceremony, a new nation is born. 48 years ago, the mantle of American sovereignty fell over this land and this people. It was the beneficent sovereignty of a liberator, pledged to be withdrawn as soon as the well-being of the people would safely permit. America never wavered in that purpose. America today redeems that pledge.
am authorized and directed by the President of the United States to proclaim the independence of the Philippines as a separate and self-governing nation.
August 30, 1951, the Philippines and the United States signed a mutual defense treaty pledging to come to each other's aid in case of an armed attack on either side.
And with this, we are now allies. Your enemies are now mine, and mine are yours.
We'll do everything in our power to aid your country.
November 24, 1992, the helicopter carrier USS Bellewood sails out of Subic Bay, ending nearly a century of U.S. military presence in the Philippines. The closure came 2 months after the Filipino Senate rejected a proposed 10-year basis treaty extension, amid rising popular sentiment against the United States. February 8, 1995. Estranged from its U.S. ally, the Philippines finds structures built by China on a strategically important South China Sea outcrop called Mischief Reef, which Manila claims as part of its continental shelf. The discovery ignites series of tense maritime confrontations between the Asian neighbors and drives the Philippines back to an American embrace. February 10, 1998. The Philippines and the United States signed a visiting force agreement, paving the way for increased military cooperation, including resumption of large-scale annual joint military exercises on Filipino soil. The Philippine Senate ratifies the treaty in May 1999. September 2002. As U.S. President George W. Bush wages a global war on terror, small numbers of American Special Forces troops deploy in the southern Philippines to train and provide intelligence to Filipino soldiers fighting Al-Qaeda-linked Filipino Muslim militants. This begins a rotating but permanent U.S. presence of about 500 soldiers in the south.
I swear in our great nation, in the name of the United States of America, that I hereby pledge our allegiance, and we shall hereby aid the battles of the Filipinos against the Muslims.
Today, Filipino-American relationships are going stable.
It's not severance of ties. When you say severance of ties, you cut the diplomatic relations. I cannot do that. Why? It's to the best interest of my country that we maintain that relationship. Why? Because there are many Filipinos in the United States, Americans of Filipino ancestry. Why? Because the people of my country is not ready to accept I said separation. What I was really saying was separation of a foreign policy.
We got your back in the South China Sea. Those were reportedly the words of U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to President Rodrigo Duterte when he arrived in the country last night. That's according to presidential spokesman Salvador Panelo. While the U.S. has been a vocal critic of China's activities in the contested waters, the Philippines is choosing a softer stance when it comes to dealing with China. Duterte held a closed-door meeting with Pompeo at the Villamor Air Base in Pasay City last night. The U.S. State Department says Duterte and Pompeo discussed ways to improve cooperation on regional security and counterterrorism, as well as efforts to achieve the denuclearization of North Korea. On Twitter, Pompeo says he had a productive meeting with the Philippine president. Pompeo is scheduled to deliver a press statement this morning, along with Philippine Foreign Affairs Secretary Teodoro Locsin Jr. before flying out of the country.
Though our current government favors Chinese diplomacy, the American ambassador to the Philippines have promised that they will still honor our treaty, that we are under the protection of American forces if our country is to be invaded by a foreign nation.
Yes, I believe that it created a lot of tensions, definitely for the Native Americans when they came here, and that lasted throughout the years. Yes, we talked about their role in World War II and how they were victimized by the Japanese. Currently, I don't know of any current events where we do help out, but I do know historically, yes, I believe they really needed our help during World War II, yeah.
I swear.
Hindi kami folder. Ewan ko. Ay, meron pa naman akong sinunod doon na ano.
My dear people, crushing the Spanish fleets are just... shit.
Ay, dad?
Hirap mo rin.
Mga Filipino! Palayain mo kami!
I refuse!
Oh.
Hurrah! But die, rebels, come! Yeah, they're dead. Dead. You're dead. You're dead. And you're dead.